Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. Come on in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Indigo Playroom. This is the Indigo Chameleon channel, and we have noobs. Hi. We are playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons this evening, but here's the deal. We love playing this game, so much so that Indigo has talked and posted in our Discord that apparently we weren't paying attention to this. We have been playing D&D and will have been playing D&D Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. Because that's what our lives are now. But we had this idea. We love this game so much, and I've noticed a need from some of the friends that I have and some people that we know that really want to get into the game, but they're like, they say to themselves, Self, how do you D&D? And so that's why I'm here. This is the first live version of this sort of D&D 101. I have a training level that I've sort of developed over time to help players get into rolling dice for the first time and learning what all of this is about. And then the next one that we do will probably be over Discord or Skype, because I've got a lot of friends who live in different places that contacted me, and they were like, "Oh God,
quit having friends other places."
One friend in Japan who's like, "No," I was like, "Yes." So we'll make that happen. We've got a few announcements before we kick things off. Here on the channel, there's a lot of stuff going on. I want to talk about a little bit about that. Sunday night is usually game night here on Indigo Chameleon, where we play card games, we play board games. We've got some special guests coming to game night this week, so it's going to be a fun time. Hillary, I expect you to come and play some games with myself and Tracy and Meowdith and Ricky and Sarah. So we're going to have a blast. Tuesday nights here on the channel, I have a ongoing tabletop game that we do. We do a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons games, but it's in a world that I created all up in here. It's set in Alice in Wonderland with all sorts of fun, weird, wacky things that happen. In last week's adventure, the team got a house that they kind of like a home base for things. They leveled up this past week, and they found a dragon egg. Which hatched promptly, and because I couldn't resist, I found a home-brewed version of Toothless. So the crew now has a little real tiny baby Toothless dragon that's running around, and we have a lot of fun in that game. So please stay tuned for that. But let's talk about tonight. We have some new people joining us at the table. What I did is I tried to put a ringer on each side.
I tried to get the dumbest guy.
I tried to get the dumbest guy on that side. I tried to get a ringer on each side. Unfortunately, the ringer on this side canceled, so Chris is here. I have two people who have played D&D before, and that you can watch on Wonder. But let's go around the table and introduce ourselves, and maybe say our character name of who we're playing this evening for this training level. Yeah. Why don't don't jump in all at once. Hillary, let's start with you.
Hi, I'm Hillary. I will be playing Nug. I am a rogue, and I'm gonna be obnoxious. The end.
Wonderful.
I'm Chris, or One Big Una. I'll be playing a character called Sagar Brum. He's a mountain dwarf, and he's a paladin. And he's very excited about being here with all the
What?
Yeah,
of course.
A new person at the table.
Hi, I'm Noah. I'll be playing Falchery. Yeah. I'm a Dragonborn soldier trying to uphold the traditions of my clan. That's about it, I guess.
Yeah, I like it. I'm digging it. Let's go over there at the very end.
another newbie over here. My name is Travis. My character's name is Saint Gorgonzola, who is a dwarf cleric from southern Alabama.
Oh my gosh.
I love him so much. Yes, and another newbie at the table.
Yeah, a
Hello.
complete newbie.
Yes.
My name is Madison Sawyer. Will be playing Alaya. I am a high elf, and I lie.
That's not the character now. That's not the character.
No,
She's just being honest.
no, but
But I'm being honest. I lie.
she's a liar though.
But I'm being honest.
All right, you're
I'll
out.
never know.
Okay, I gave a little bit of a rundown for
What
all.
am I, top liver?
Oh no.
No.
Oh, okay.
I gave a little bit of a rundown before we got started, but I wanted to not only talk about some of the players that were here and some of the new players, but Tracy Indigo is playing a character tonight, Etheria,
Yes,
who is not on this channel.
it's true.
So, would you tell us a little bit about Etheria, please?
Etheria is my character that I play in Eberron, in the Eberron campaign over on the Plaster Dragon. I adore her. She is a little tiefling sorcerer. She is 8 years old, and she is just delightful. Yes, she's impetuous and a little mischievous and very honest to a fault. So yeah, so that's Etheria.
I'm getting on well.
Right.
Okay.
So you can actually tune into that on the Plaster Dragon, one of the channels that we do.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
On Twitch, on the
Yeah.
Plaster Dragon, you can see a lot of the Furious adventures in that particular campaign. I played Bob the Bard.
I was about to say filter, but
Yeah, he's also a builder. He's multifaceted.
A builder of
Just
stone.
like building things. So let us begin our adventure for this evening. We talked a little bit before we got started about all of the different stats and things like that. People watching tonight, please cheer on the newbies as much as you can. If they have a question during the campaign, I'm actually I stole this. They're going to lift a pinky up in the air, and that'll have everyone stop, and then we can answer a question, and then we'll go pinkies down. We'll go right back into it. Thank you, Nowdith, for introducing me to that amazing facet of role playing. Let's go. So you all are adventurers. You each have your own reason for setting forth away from your homes, and for some of you it may be fame and glory. For some of you it's spreading the good, cheesy word. For others, it may be just being precocious and spreading as much chaos as you possibly can. Whatever your reasons may be, you have found yourselves in a small forest, a little ways off the beaten path. The previous night, some of you who had been traveling together, the two groups sort of met. You had a fire, and you decided amongst yourselves that it would be best to stay together because there are all sorts of weird creatures and goings on here in the forest. After a restful night where an uneventful watch happened, you wake up the next morning. The campfire has sort of died down at the moment. The most pressing need right now is the need for food to continue on your way. We're going to start this adventure off with everyone in the group rolling a perception check. You're going to roll that d20 die for me. You're going to add your perception.
You did this. You did this to me.
I think I did it to me too.
So let's go around. Nug,
7.
Nat one.
Nat 1. You didn't find anything.
Great.
There's a
Beautiful,
lot
like,
of trees.
steepy.
Yeah. What about you,
I
Bob?
got a 10.
A 10. Travis?
I'm adding these together right now.
Yes. You're gonna add your perception. There's a little number next to that
Yeah.
perception, and you're gonna add that to the d20. that you-
14.
14.
You're here.
9.
11.
9. Leave it to Gorgonzola.
Jeez!
Everyone is sort of. Everyone is sort of like waking up and sort of gathering their belongings and things like that. Gorgonzola, you stop because I can't pass this up. You detect faint smell of cheese. It's not just cheese. Cheese is what catches your nose first. I should have given you advantage on this roll. You smell food being cooked from a distance away in the forest. You're not sure of any other sort of camps around all of you. You were pretty careful to find a place a little off the beaten path and off the main road. But Gorgonzola, you smell food being cooked. Do you share that with the rest of the group?
Do I have to share with all of them?
You don't.
How much food do I have?
Everyone's supplies are starting to run a little low. You don't know how much you're smelling being cooked off in the distance, but everyone's supplies are starting to run a little bit low.
I'll share with 4 of the 5.
Who do you exclude?
He weighs too much. He's gonna eat all the food.
Okay. So
It's true.
So actually, Colin, give me another perception check as you notice Gorgonzola, Saint Gorgonzola, walking around to people and just whispering, but like looking over at you conspicuously, and then just sort of like not even breaking eye contact, but going over to the next person. Give me a perception check. So roll a d20 for me again.
15. 15. 18.
Ooh.
This dude's talking about you. He very obviously doesn't want you to know about. But you all get the inklings that as Gorgonzola goes to each one of you and says, "So I smell food. There's food off in the distance."
So are we gonna follow your nose then to the food, or what's the deal?
But I'm giving you the food already, so I don't understand why you asked me for food. You want him to get food too?
I don't really perceive things very well.
Wait a minute, aren't we going to the food? Isn't the food? Wait, you already got the food? Where is it?
You just
Smell.
smell it cooking off in the distance.
I jumped to conclusions. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take you for it. Let's go get the food here.
Hang on a minute. Why isn't he going?
He weighs a lot, and just by perception alone, I'm gonna say that he's gonna eat most of the cheese.
Fair.
So ballpark down there.
We're the same race. What are you talking about?
We are the same race, yeah. But this guy over here, a little bit heavier. I don't like him.
At least if you don't find bacon, then.
What
I
if he
won't have a
promises to only eat the same portion as the rest of us? That sounds more fair, right?
Yeah.
That does sound
Wait, but you're just an 8-year-old. So
What do you know about?
How about we measure it based on who's the next largest from this one?
Oh no, because I'm hungry.
Okay, well, I'm lactose intolerant. So.
Well,
So you can't eat vegetables.
yeah, exactly right.
I
Can't eat the vegetables.
Sure.
Sure.
Nug is gonna start going
Okay.
without saying anything.
Oh, you're just gonna? Are you
Yep.
gonna Houdini?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm just starting to go.
Give me a stealth check as like Nug's just sitting here nodding, and she's gonna try to go full Batman.
Ooh. 8.
Nug takes a couple of steps backwards and going, "I'm sneaking away." Backs up.
Nobody look at me! Okay, bye!
Nug, since you're looking for the food, I imagine, or trying to find your way, you've got a skill on there called Survival. Survival is a lot of times like sort of finding tracks, like sort of searching around and things like that. You're in the middle of the forest. Roll me a survival check.
20, right?
Yeah, if anybody here has survival as a skill, look on your sheet, see if that little like circle is bubbled. If anybody here has survival bubbled, do you have that bubble?
Yes, I do.
So what that means is he's going to assist you.
Great.
So basically, you get to re-roll that again. It's the equivalent of him going like, you're like,
Oh.
I think I found the food, and he like picks you up and shifts you. And he's like, I found the food.
So I roll again.
Re-roll that.
Okay.
No.
Still great!
Oh, 5.
5 is the highest of the two.
Yeah, it was a 4.
You start looking around, you find a rock that you think that's where the food smell is coming from, but you're not
I knew
sure.
that rock looked suspicious.
Smelled
It
good
was
though.
yellow.
As you guys are,
Not a good yellow.
Why is it yellow?
as everyone is looking at Nug, sort of like, I think I found it. Like, you all hear the distinct sound of footsteps coming not too far away from where you all are, like from the road, which you guys have sort of camped away from it, just in case anybody was traveling. But you hear footsteps, you hear jovial talking coming from the road.
Everyone hears it?
Everyone hears it. It's loud enough, and they're not trying to be stealthy.
Is it in common?
It is in common. It's one of the languages here, but it's the common language, so everyone here is able
it?
to understand it.
I'm gonna create an illusion of a bush right in front of me.
Oh, okay.
It's a 5-foot cube, So anybody who can squeeze into a 5-foot cube behind me or with me is welcome to be behind it. But I'm going to create a 5-foot cube.
You guys look towards the sounds, and then you look back, and the 8-year-old, where the 8-year-old was standing, she's on full Metal Gear Solid and has a bush in front of her. Yeah.
It's minor illusion.
It's a fern.
Yeah.
So they can't, like, if they test it or touch it, they can see right through it, but it's a minor illusion.
Looks like there's some people coming. Might as well go see hello to them. Let's go say hello.
Yeah, let's go confront them.
Yes.
And
Yeah. You two do that right there. You go ahead. I'll stay back here and wait by the bush.
Alright.
I want a cartwheel behind a tree.
You're a cartwheel behind a tree?
Yeah.
Are you hiding behind the tree?
Yep.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check.
Oh, that's a 23.
Ooh!
You guys are watching as these two sort of like walk forward, and as they walk forward, all of a sudden Nug's like, and like does a cartwheel behind the tree, like flips over the rock, the food rock, like picks it up as she's cartwheeling and just grabs it and hugs it to
The
her.
perfect cartwheel.
I did it.
I did it.
The perfect
Perfect
cartwheel.
cartwheel.
You guys walk to the road, and you notice 3 individuals sort of walking down the road a ways. As you sort of come around the side, I imagine you're not being stealthy about this. As you come around the side, they turn around and look at you. They're all wearing identical yellow tunics. On the yellow tunic is a smiley face. It's 2 eyes and just a black little sort of half. And they go, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
Greeting there, travelers. How are you?
Good. We are. Are you new?
For the area?
Well, yes. Are you here for the seminar?
There's a seminar.
Yes.
I'm a spy.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Are you all together?
Oh yeah, this guy here.
Yeah.
Real nice guy. He is.
Oh, that's great. Oh, here. Why don't you come with us? We'll introduce you to everybody in the camp. We've been here a couple of days, and we've all gone through the experience. It was great.
Well, now it's a pretty friendly place then.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, come on. And then they hold out the shirt. Like the human holds out the shirt. There's a little there's a little gnome there. It's like, yeah, look, they even gave us these like cool little tunics. And like, what's odd is it's these two and then this like half orc that's kind of standing with them. It's like, we're all better friends now. He's little, but not little in my heart. He's big in my heart. And the little gnome like runs up and like hugs him, but he only comes up to the guy's like calf. Yeah.
So what do you think, Falcor?
not sure. Seems suspicious to me.
Oh, it can't hurt to have a bit of a look.
Yes, I guess so. We can go see what they have.
I'm gonna come out from behind the bush and go, do you guys know where the food is?
Oh, yeah, no, there's a big sort of, I guess, breakfast. They do this massive cookout and things like that. There's eggs and bacon and fruit and sweetbreads. And
How much?
I mean, a lot.
But they got cheese down there, though?
Oh, hi! Oh, who are you?
I was about the same bush she was back.
Oh, okay, that's a huge bush. Well, no, yes, there's plenty of food and things of that sort. But I think it's for all that are welcome that are here for the training. You guys are here for the training, right?
I'm here for the cheese.
Of course we're here for the training.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here for the training.
What? I'm not. Yes.
Okay.
What are the...
Three of you give me a deception check.
Me too.
Yes,
Yes, I'm here
the
for the
three of you
training.
just blatantly lied. Yes.
What are the pendants made out
Ooh,
of?
that did not go
The
well.
pendants that they're wearing. The pendants that they're wearing are It looks like two of them are wearing the pendants. The gnome is not wearing the pendant. The half orc and the human are wearing a pendant, and it's two hands outstretched and like grasping each other, and like almost like in a handshake.
Okay.
It looks like a gold sort of pendant as well. The two of them are wearing it, and occasionally you'll notice the little one like sort of look up and look at the pendant, sort of look down at the ground. But it's gonna be hard.
Okay, I'll wait then.
Okay. All right.
Deception check 9.
9.
16.
Nice liar.
That, my sir, is going to be a 15.
All right. They sort of look at you and sort of smile, and then they kind of look over at you. Oh, come on! And they lead you down the path. Are you with them? at
Yep,
this
I
point?
cartwheel right out of that tree.
Oh my God! The perfect cartwheel.
Did you guys see
I'm
it?
here.
The half orc's like, I've always tried to do that. It doesn't go well.
Takes a lot of practice.
He's gonna go for a cartwheel.
Yeah.
He does not
Break,
succeed.
breaks his arm.
He runs into a tree. He's like, nailed it.
I want to go up to him, pat him on the back, and be like,
Thanks,
You'll do. Eventually.
thanks, friend.
You're welcome.
They lead you down this sort of dirt path that's a little ways like down the road. You see this wooden fence post. It almost looks like a camp where you'd have to walk like underneath like a fence post. Yes.
So we completely avoided the cheese, or not the cheese, but the food in general.
No. As you're walking down the road, that smell is getting stronger and stronger.
Okay.
As you go past the fence post, which says "Art Good Friends Friendship Camp," you see this wide open sort of valley in front of you. It's this big field. You're seeing everybody there. A good majority of them are wearing those yellow tunics with a little smiley face. As people are sort of there, you also see the food, and it is more food than any of you have seen in a long time. Not only is there cheese there, but there's one of those like cheese stations. As you sort of cross the threshold, a gentleman comes up to you. He's elvish features, long blonde hair, and
Elvis.
Elvis. They're all home. And he walks up and he's holding a clipboard, and he goes, "Hello, hey guys. I take it you guys are here for the training, correct? You're here for the."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure
that's-
am.
Yes, sir, but I'm so hungry I can barely think right now.
Oh, what's the name of your group?
Are we rolling to decide who decides that?
We're the friends.
We're the friends.
We're the friends.
We are all friends.
It's with the Z at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. And
Minus
he-
the clapping.
you see him look at his clipboard. He's like, I don't have you all listed, but I did have a group that kind of just canceled on me. Yeah, you know what? We're the friends with a Z. I should change the sign. And he writes it down on the clipboard, and he goes, he's like, great, your time slot will be up in a little bit. For now, please help yourselves to the food. And he does this sort of sweeping motion. Give me perception checks as you guys sort of run down the field and stuff like that.
That one.
Who got above a 15? Okay,
23.
23.
20, not that.
Okay, you will notice that everybody seems super happy to be there, and it's people that you would not imagine. Like the human and the half orc and that's a motley crew. But you're noticing lots of other motley crews. Like you're noticing like other sorts of like dragonborns and like some of the bird people, the Kenku, are just sort of walking around and they don't get along with anybody, but they're high-fiving and stuff like that. You notice something else.
Okay.
This valley sort of stretches out and there's all this food, but you look up and there's a hill that sort of leads into the valley, and you see a bunch of people waiting at the bottom of the hill. Suddenly, people come out of this building up at the top, and people at the bottom start clapping, and they go, "They made it!" Everybody down that's eating stops what they're doing and just starts clapping, starts like cheering. Everybody's high-fiving. People are like hugging each other. Like as soon as these people come down from the hill.
There's something funky in that cheese.
So all of this is sort of noticed by you guys as you're sort of eating food. Do you relay any of that to
I want to tap or nudge him and point to the building so he notices too.
Yeah. So you guys are eating food. This continues for a while. You fill up. Like you guys are the most filled you've ever been. I imagine some of you start even filling your packs a little bit with some of the food.
Well, you got a cheese station, so yeah.
You dump out the backpack, you take a block, and put it in the
Instead of melted cheese, he's just scraping it into his bag.
Crossbow.
Bedroll.
Decisions. As that happens, all of a sudden there's a bell ringing, and this person that greeted you before sort of stands up on this stump, and he goes, "All right, we are good friends with the Z. It is your turn to go and face the perils of the dungeon, of friendship." And as he says that, he sort of sweeps his arms and he points toward this building that's up on the hill. And as he points and everyone moves out of the way, now that your attention is directed towards it, it looks from this distance to be like an archetypical castle facade.
You ever seen Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade? Kind of the vibe.
What's that?
What is that?
Guess not then. All right. It's from Alabama.
Alabama.
The mythical kingdom.
Is that from up north?
Yeah.
Okay.
He waits and everybody kind of makes a path for you guys and points up towards the building on the hill.
Hardy backslap. What do you say we go take a look at that castle?
Yep, I think we should do.
I'm already flying up the hill.
Yes.
Okay, this is why I'm lactose intolerant.
Because of castles.
Yes.
You're quite the awful place to be here, dear.
Haven't you seen castles? Aren't they all made of cheese? The moat is milk. Lactose everywhere.
Up from under a mountain, so you
Sorry, I missed this conversation. I'm flying up the hill.
I love that we put the lactose intolerant elf next to Saint Gorgonzola.
Yeah.
Or am I lactose intolerant?
Oh, she's also a liar.
Alright, everybody goes up the hill. As you go up towards the hill and you get closer and closer to this structure, you get to these front gates and you see a sign. It's written in common up above, and it says, "Enter as strangers, exit as best friends." And you notice that the friends has a Z written, like the paint is still wet.
Just true.
It's still like the S has been covered over by black paint with a Z.
I saw copyright.
Is there anything weird about the door?
Give me an investigation.
That would be 17.
You go up to the door and you're kind of looking at it, and you put your hand on like the stone sort of facade of the door, like the sort of castle structure. And as you put your hand on it, you kind of pull your hand back as you're looking at something that feels weird. It's paper mache.
This is fake.
The minute she says, "This is fake," you guys start noticing some weird stuff. Like as you poke your head inside, like there's cobwebs, but it's obviously like white strings and stuff like that.
Festive.
As she says it's paper mache, like I imagine like the big strong like dragon just goes like punches a hole through the wall and is like, "You're paper mache."
We're gonna get in so much trouble, and I cast mending on it.
Look at that castle.
Break stuff when they can't see us. Jeez.
Okay, I'll do that next time.
As you sort of walk into this castle, there is a door in front of you. As you walk into the room, the portcullis behind all of you sort of like creeps upward. You hear and you sort of poke your head to the side, and there's like two people that run behind.
They're making the noise.
And are making the noise as they push it up. And they, as it slams shut, like one of the little ones is like, you walk, a door sort of swings open. Before you see this very long path. It's sort of a larger room. It's about the size of this living room, the room behind it. There's red carpet on the floor, and you see some planks of wood, long planks of wood, wide planks of wood, suspended by chains. Okay? The planks of wood are suspended over the red carpet. and you hear a voice come on, and it's sort of your eyes are drawn to this little rock in the corner of the room that sort of crackles with arcane energy. It goes, hey there, guys! It's your good buddy, our good friend. This is your first challenge. You're gonna go through some challenges to become better teammates and better friends with each other. We've tried to steer away from corporate training because that's not something we really like here. But you're just gonna try to be friends. Now the goal of this entire dungeon is to use teamwork to get through the challenges. And as you can see, this challenge is heating up because the floor is lava. And you look down at the red carpet, and the voice gives it an emotional second or two. It says, "Your job is to walk on the planks, get to the other side of the room, but don't fall in the lava because it'll burn you."
You have that yellow rock, right? Maybe it's friends with that rock.
It's fake.
I fly across the room and I say, "Come on, guys!
Don't forget to use teamwork to get over to the other side."
Go team! Come on over!"
Oh, okay.
And you're a gnome?
Cartwheel straight across.
Oh
The
no!
carpet or the wooden boards?
Wooden boards.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes,
I love
it-
all of this.
Yep.
Give me an acrobatics check as you decide to do cartwheels over this.
I got 5.
She's like, guys, perfect cartwheel. I already nailed it once. She starts doing this cartwheel, and she gets to the first board, and that board just kind of swings backwards. She falls, like bangs her head into the board, like grabs her nose, and like rolls on the ground, and she's just rolling on the red carpet.
Fine!
Oh.
Everything's fine!
She gets up and like stumbles on the carpet to the other side where Ophelia is waiting. And how is everyone else getting across?
Oh, and I'm gonna say, "Hey guys, I can help you." I'm gonna say it towards the voice, and I'm gonna cast minor illusion that the floor is actually lava. It's not very far. It's not gonna cover most of the floor.
So it's patchy, like
It's
So
like it's only 5 feet, but I'll try to move it along as they're underneath it.
You four are on the other side, and Ophelia goes, "I can help," and all of a sudden you look where the red carpet is. And a good portion of it is actually boiling hot lava.
Why? Why did you do this to us?
It's motivation, teamwork.
Is there some steps you gotta walk over before going over the plank?
Yes.
To be fair, with minor illusion, like I can't do heat and like so it looks like it, but it doesn't feel hot or
Oh, we
anything.
good, man.
You're good.
I'm gonna just I'm gonna just give like a little like a little brisk like jog, just bouncing up and down off of the boards, like trying to get across.
Sure, so you're just doing it as fast as you can.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
brisk job. Give me an acrobatics check as you sort of run across.
Yay, 7.
He gets a little further than Nug. He gets about halfway through, and he's like, brisk jog. And as he says, brisk jog, one of the chains just gets a little wonky, and it sort of twists, and he clips his shoulder, and he kind of falls down. But she's been moving the illusion, so as it happens, you just see him fall and disappear into boiling hot red lava.
Are you okay?
No, I'm fine.
He pokes his head up, and his head's just sticking out of the lava.
Just lava. It
Yeah.
doesn't burn not a beat.
Okay. I think maybe I'm gonna play it a little bit more safe. How up high is the board from the lava?
I'll say it's about 5 feet.
Okay, great. Then I'm going to sloth crawl my way across because
Okay.
I'm not trying to be all fancy. I'm not gonna run across. I'm just gonna.
So you guys
Oh, it's
watch
a fun
as
map.
Elia sort of like looks and studies the boards a little bit and does this sort of like very careful, calculated movement across. Give me a roll at advantage. This is a dynamic in Dungeons and Dragons where you've done something really well, and so you get to roll 2 d20s,
Okay.
and then you get to take the higher of the two. So you can roll it at the same time or roll it twice and just take the higher of the two.
I didn't look at what I wanted.
Okay, no, it's okay. Roll it again. Remember the number.
Okay.
Okay,
2,
and then
3.
Where's advantage on the paper?
It's not. It's just a dynamic in 5th edition where it's
So
like
you get your
you
roll.
do something really well, or the DM's like, this is something that you would obviously know how to do. Like, but normally it's a little higher than rolling a 2 and a 3. So while
At least a 4 or 5.
she's doing this sort of like calculated like army crawl over, and as she does, one of her fingers gets caught in like the chain link of the chain,
Oh my god.
and
no.
she's just dangling from like a finger. She's like, help! Help!
I don't like that.
Yeah. And you pull it free and it's just sort of falling.
Is it the pinky?
It's the pinky. It's the worst. It's and sort of stumble across the way. Who has not traversed?
So, who has made it completely?
Then you.
Everyone but you and your dragonborn friend.
Well, but I thought they got stuck because the
They did, but they fell off the plank, hit the ground, and just sort of
Didn't walk of shame.
ashamedly.
I'm just gonna go at normal pace because I have -1 acrobats, so no cartwheels for me.
You're going carefully, like you're just like
Yeah.
Okay. And give me acrobatics at advantage.
So roll 2.
Roll that d20 twice. Take the higher of the 2 numbers.
Ooh.
17.
Okay, yeah.
Wow,
You guys watch as he just sort of like walks across.
Ace suckers.
I was gonna say with great reverence, but no. It's just like,
No.
what about you?
As the last one going, I'm going to sprint and jump onto where everybody is.
Yes, and give me an acrobatic check as you just run full tilt and try to make this.
Yeah, that's 3.
No.
That's a 4.
You do this. You go like, guys, I got this. You back up to the door and try to do like a running leap. And as you run, you are gonna jump the steps to get to the board, but you trip on the step, and you actually like chest like knocks the air out of you on the very first board, and there's just this sound as the big, strong dragonborn strapped to the gill with weapons is just like, like rolling on the ground and walks over. As you cross the line, Art comes on and he's just like, wow. Yeah. Okay, and then the door just opens to the next. He's like, you didn't use a lot of teamwork, and there's a lot of showboating and weird stuff. So unfortunately, I gotta give you a little penalty. And you hear, to the next room.
Wait, was that the penalty? Is that we just had to hear and that was it?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a great penalty.
But I thought you said there's something.
Who's the smartest one out of us 6? Intelligence or whatnot?
You said there's something in the next room?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, there's plenty of different things for you guys to do here. There's like 3 or 4 rooms. Onward! And as he says that, like the door to the next room sort of opens at the end of the hall, like, into another area. You see a really tall, sort of climbing wall. It's right in front of you. It goes straight up about 15 feet into the air. And Art goes, yeah, this is your next challenge. Just be careful and remember to always use teamwork.
How tall is it?
About 15 feet in the air.
Can I do a persuasion roll to see if I get more information out of the penalty?
Sure. Give me a persuasion check. What do you say to Art in order to get him to...
When you say penalty,
Okay, give me a persuasion.
what does that mean?
Give me a persuasion.
No. 6.
Well, it's a surprise for coming near the end. If I told
We're
you
gonna die.
no, it wouldn't be a surprise.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a wall about 15 feet up into the air. If somebody wants to give me an investigation check, if you want to study the wall, if you want to just try to scale the
I'll
wall.
study the wall as I fly up it and go, hurry up, guys! I'm gonna be first!
Yeah, I'm gonna do investigation.
Both of you, Doug, give me investigation at disadvantage as you fly up the
And
wall.
my first one was a 3.
Perfect. That's great.
Is the wall strong enough, after seeing him punch the hole through it, is it strong enough to bear weight?
I have a 9.
A 9. You look, and that's one of the first things that you sort of look at. You actually notice the small handholds in the wall, like the little handholds leading up and stuff like that. You don't know how sturdy it is, but it looks fairly sturdy.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna start climbing it.
Sure. Yeah.
Okie doke.
As he's climbing it, I'm making make fart sounds all the way up the wall.
You're making fart.
Yeah, I'm using
She's
prestidigitation,
8.
Oh, okay.
so I can make.
Fair.
Actually, I can even make it. No, I can make an odor or the sounds. I can't make both. No, I'm making the sounds because he's climbing the wall.
Will this be athletics or acrobatics?
This is athletics. This is an act of strength. You're sort of climbing up the wall.
10, friends.
10. Yeah.
10.
You actually make it up the wall fairly easily,
Nice.
and then
Good old paper mache wall.
you see him standing up at the top of the wall, just sort of waving with Etheria, sort of waving down at everyone.
All right, I'll go up to
Okay.
athletics.
Yes, athletics check.
This is 6, right?
Yeah.
9.
Okay, you start to stumble a little bit. You get almost to the top of it, and there's this moment where she's sort of like she's climbing, but she's littles, and it's just that getting over that final sort of edge.
Pushing
Do you
up,
do
yeah.
anything to?
Just gonna grab her by the back of the collar and be like, here we go, wee one, here we go.
Thanks,
Yeah.
funny talking friend.
You're welcome, little ones.
That's what I was just about to ask. Approximately how tall are you?
I'm not sure.
You're a dragonborn.
Average.
You're pretty tall.
6'9".
Not tall. 6'3", 6'2". Goliaths, half orcs are like 7 feet. Like that big guy that you saw earlier, that was a big dude. He's on the taller end, so he's like 6'2", 6'3".
Okay.
I don't really like physical activity much, so can I just stand on his shoulders and so I'm already like kind of up high and then
That's
start climbing?
You could absolutely. Do you let her do that? Do you let
Can I
her
please
take
do
on your
that?
shoulders?
Thank you.
Yeah. So he's just like, all right, come on, and you climb up his shoulders and
Very
then
light.
make an athletics check at advantage, as he's done at least 6'3" of the work for you, probably more.
Wait, which side is it? Oh yeah, if she's standing on his shoulder.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, yeah, it was athletics.
She's at least more than halfway.
Still 18.
-1.
She basically is tall enough that standing on his shoulders, she just goes and like climbs like 3 steps over
That
onto
was
the
so
top.
hard.
I'm going to climb the wall, but I'm gonna punch handholds into it as I'm climbing.
Yes.
Just in case that paper mache lab does not.
Oh gosh.
You're doing a great
Okay.
job.
You haven't gotten up there yet, right?
I had a question about insight. What exactly is insight for?
Insight is the check to see if somebody's lying to you or what their ulterior motives are. It's how well you can read people.
So it's kind of also the same thing as persuasion.
Persuasion is trying to convince somebody to do something.
Well,
It's the difference between like, hey, you should go pick up that rock, and you roll high enough and be like, oh, I probably should go pick up that rock. To me being like, hey, you should go pick up that rock, and you rolled insight on me, and I was like, you're gonna pull my pants down when I go pick up that rock, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, like you got me. Like, it's how you read people. Yeah, you start walking towards the wall. Give me athletics check
Okay.
at advantage because you just start beating this paper mache wall, or at least the
Do I
handle.
roll a second time? Or no?
Roll it a second time. For
Okay.
me.
15.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys watch. Unfortunately, the Dragonborn makes it to the top of the wall, but destroys the majority of the handhold as he goes like, "This is easier," like, and like climbs up. So you're at the bottom, sort of looking up, and everyone's at the top waving at you.
How long? Dragonborn's got tail?
Yeah.
How long is his tail? Long enough?
Not long enough to go 15.
Alright, I
feet.
need a chain link here. So, put the shortest person at the front.
I guess I can fix the wall again.
Oh yeah, that'll help.
Well, you could just throw a rope down. I got a rope in my pack.
Does that actually
That'd probably be easier than
Do
you
you-
fixing the wall.
I'll just throw you my rope, not attach anything. Just like, here! I'll just throw you the rope.
Have him hold it.
No, he already threw the rope
Oh,
down
just
without
kidding.
attaching it to anything.
Alright.
But then I can throw it back up again.
Well, you just asked for a rope. You didn't ask me to attach it.
Like, hold on to this, Dragon Man.
Dragon Man, do you grab the rope?
No, I don't.
The rope hits you in the face and just sort of drops to your feet.
I'm sorry, no, let me try again. Dragon Man, you up there?
This time, not to be mean, I'll grab the rope.
Okay.
Yay, just for teamwork.
You give me an athletics check as you start climbing up. You give me an athletics check. You give me a strength check. Roll a d20 for me. because he's not using handholds, he's using you.
Oh, I got a 9.
17.
I want to do this.
Well, if you add it together, 26. That's 13 a pop.
You are really fast, and you start climbing up this rope with a bit of urgency. I would say you get to the very top, and there's that moment where he goes like, he's like, "You did it!" and he lets go of the rope, and you sort of teeter on the edge for a second, and then just sort of like lean forward and manage to get to the other side of the wall.
Great job.
Great job. As that happens, Art once again comes over the loudspeaker and he goes, "Wow. Did you guys know each other before you formed this group? Or anyway, the next exercise is only for 2 people. It's one of my favorites. It's the trust fall, because when you trust your friend, you can accomplish anything." So you watch as a little platform opens on the other side of this. There are stairs leading down to the ground, but there's a little like sort of platform, and you know that somebody is to stand on this platform, cross their arms over their chest like this, and then just sort of fall backwards, and somebody at the bottom will catch them. So I need to know who is falling and who is catching.
I'll fall.
He's catching because he's strong.
Yeah,
right?
You're catching?
I'll fall.
Okay.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
Nug's like, "You guys are wimps." And like,
Wimps.
Belly flops herself.
Great. Starts falling before he's in.
Okay, so what I need for you to do is give me a strength check again.
What is your
actually?
What is the number of strength here?
So your strength is going to be at the top. It's actually going to. I'll make this a strength saving throw in case those are a little higher for
Or
you.
saving throws?
So give it a saving throw as Nug just goes like leans backwards, mugs it up a little bit and leans backward.
Alright, I got 19.
Yeah. Not only does he catch you, but he catch.
Hold on. I don't do this.
You don't do that.
I do this.
It's me. He not only catches you, but he catches you one-handed, and just sort of like if judges were there, they'd be holding up like 10s and 9s and stuff like that.
9.5.
Victory laps,
Tops.
just constantly running around.
After you get down, Art comes on and he's like, "Oh my gosh, you guys actually did something. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you."
Yeah, suck on that.
Makes sense.
Okay. Another door opens forward, and it's in this room is a statue. It's a golden statue, and as you look at the statue, you see it's a bunch of different creatures, different races, all high-fiving each other in sort of a central point. The closer you get to the statue, you realize, yes, it is also made of paper mache. And Art comes over the stone again and says, "Now this is the realm of constructive criticism. Because in order to be true friends, you must learn to take constructive criticism. So what you will do is you will place a hand on the statue and offer a piece of constructive criticism to another member of the group. Remember, once a person has received constructive criticism, they don't get a second dose. So, who would like to go first?"
Me.
Nug runs forward, places a hand on the statue, and what do you say? And
I don't understand a word you're saying. I'm sorry.
All right. Calm yourself there, wee one.
I did what I was supposed to do.
As she says that, one of the statues brings their hand down, and as the hand comes down, there's and a little spray of confetti comes out of him in the sky face, but it's like 3 pieces of confetti that comes out as the hand comes down. So, who would like to go next?
There's no rolling.
No, you don't. You can just go forward and add a piece of constructive criticism.
So I can be completely honest.
Completely and totally honest.
Okay. I think. Excuse me. His mom is.
He's got a little bit of gas.
Sorry.
The cheese.
I'm sorry. What's her name again?
My name is Saint Gorgonzola.
Saint Gorgonzola eats too much cheese.
of confetti as St. Gorgonzola's cries herald it to the ground.
Why would you say that?
It makes you gassy.
You gassy.
I'm lactose
Who
intolerant.
goes next?
I'll go next over here. I gotta find myself a victim. With that.
Just sit there crying.
I'm gonna go over here to this old 8-year-old obnoxious folk here. You're a little too happy. I hope that's constructive enough for you, but you're a little just too happy. You kind of freak me out a little bit.
Thanks. I could be really angry at you right now.
Right, but you're not. You're happy, so I don't like that.
Okay. Next.
I think you might fall down less if you didn't show off as much as you do. You're right.
That's fair.
Okay.
It's constructive.
That's the point of the exercise.
I know.
Well then, for that matter, here we are. You're strong. I wish you were stronger.
There is a little burst of confetti, and Ryan's like, oh, it's here. Oh, okay.
You're welcome.
Do I have to go next?
You have to go next.
Put my hand. And I say to you, you need to move faster.
I know.
There's a weird moment of silence where O'Hara just goes, I know. All of everyone starts clapping.
Yay,
and
we all did it.
you watch as another portcullis is opened in front of you by the same two people wearing all black, and leading up.
You don't have to make the noises.
The portcullis opens, and before you lies a large circular room. It is as you look, there seems to be paper mache skeletons sort of spread haphazardly throughout the room, and torches that are flickering, but as you look closer at them, it's little fans and orange paper. It says, Art comes on and says, now you must face your worst challenge yet. You must face your fears together. And it's like, as you say that, you hear this music that's like, and a little dwarf comes out, and he's wearing a dragon costume, but the tail is going backwards, and it's like all like fake skeletons. And he comes out and he's like, "Rawr! I'm Skelly, the skeleton dragon, and the only way to defeat me is through friendship." And he puts a bucket of red foam balls down at his feet and picks them up and starts throwing them at all of you.
I must say, this is absolutely terrifying.
As he picks up the red balls and starts throwing them at you, he picks one up and throws it at, I will say, St. Gorgonzola with a 19. Does that hit your AC?
Yeah.
The red ball flies through the air and boops you on the snoot, doing no damage whatsoever. And he continues to throw balls at all of you.
Can I roll for perception to see if I recognize this person? Being a dwarf?
Sure.
Nice. Nat 20.
This is your cousin Terry from the small dwarven village where you lived. He set out to be a theater major and is now working as Skelly, the skeleton dragon.
Terry! It's me! How are ya?
Hey! I'm not supposed to talk while on stage.
Well, they said to, face our fears together, and we're doing it, Terry.
You're just supposed to throw the balls back at me.
Oh, I'll just walk over and grab a ball and throw it out. I'm
Oh no! And Terry hits the ground. And Skelly hits the ground and it's just like, you defeated me with teamwork. Oh.
But
good job, Terry.
As that happens, another door sort of swings open, revealing a large treasure chest. The treasure chest is gold It is in this small room, and as you all sort of pile into this room, the treasure chest opens up, and with great fanfare and a little more confetti than before, a word pops out on a spring.
Bang.
Friendship.
Friendship was a treasure all along.
Friendships.
And Art comes over the speakers and he says, "Great job, gang! You did it! What did you guys think of the dungeon?"
Where's the gold? Can I take one?
So you didn't like it?
But there's a treasure chest. Where's the gold?
Well, friendship is the treasure of the world.
It was kind of easy.
Your dungeon was lame.
I want money.
I think it was absolutely 100% amazing.
I think she's lying to me, like really blatantly.
No.
Gorgonzola, do you?
I don't know what my options are here. Can I roll for anger?
No, you'd just be angry.
Straight up angry then.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't know. If I'd have known you wanted something more challenging, I would have given it to you. And as he says that, the floor opens, and everyone slides down this giant slide until you land on cold, hard stone. As you get up off the cold, hard stone, you notice the same sort of spider webs from before, but as you go over to the wall,
Not paper mache.
it is not paper mache. A spider crawls alongside the wall. There is a red door directly across from you. Everyone give me perception checks. Who rolled above a 10? It is.
No, it's not.
It is hot coming from this door. It is real warm.
I don't think we're in the right spot. I think this is real now.
Melted cheese is queso. Queso dip.
I think I know what the punishment is now.
Friendship is not the punishment.
Is the spider moving?
That door looks
Spider
really
is
hot
it's
to
an
open.
average sized spider. It's not like a large giant spider, but it's moving. And sure enough, without an investigation, you look and the torches that were on the wall before have been replaced with actual working torches.
Does Dragon Man have fire resistance being
Yes,
dragon
I do.
scale?
He does.
Boom. Open that door, Dragon Man.
Okay. I will.
I think we're stuck down here. There's no door but that road one, right? We're stuck
Yeah,
down.
he walks forward, and as he does, he opens it up to a very familiar sight to all of you. You see wooden boards blackened underneath them as chains suspend from the ceiling, and you look down below, and sure enough, the floor is very, very, very much lava. And it is the same sort of setup as before, blackened steps, wooden steps leading up to a challenge, a winding path that leads to another door on the other side of the room.
I'm gonna create the illusion of a rock floor. It's only 5 feet.
No,
It's not
it
doing
should be red
anything.
carpet.
But it makes me
Is there a difference?
It'll feel
between
familiar.
fire
Where is
and
the
water?
red carpet?
I don't think so.
Magma.
Can I like wade through the lava?
You could. Your resistance means you take half damage.
Okay.
So it'd be like, I'm not allergic to bullets. Like it's still gonna hurt. Like you're just not gonna get like lead poisoning, but the bullets are still gonna do damage. Like lava's still gonna hurt all of you.
Do you roll for lava damage?
I do.
Okay. And then that is to our armor class? Okay. And but it's the same, like the boards never broke. Like it's the same boards though.
Same boards from before.
We need to work together.
Well, if we go like in close succession, somebody like trips and falls.
Who's
Like,
the
the person-
smallest?
Give me an investigation check. As
Investigation.
Gorgonzola starts freaking out, being like, well, "This is still gonna hurt us." Like Gorgonzola starts looking.
5.
Okay. Anybody else want to help with this
Investigation.
investigation? Wants to look around, do that?
Test the wood.
Got 2.
A 2. Yep, that's lava.
Plus 0.
You guys want to get some food?
I got an 18.
18.
Ooh,
Oh,
Wait, you get extra?
Oh,
you got
sorry.
19.
like, so you start looking and you're like, there's got to be a trick to this. There's got to be a way because Gorgonzola starts talking, he starts looking, and sure enough, you go, huh? you look at the chains, and you look at most of the times that you guys fell, it was because you were walking across or running across, but you realized that if two people were standing on a board, it would stabilize it just enough so that the next group to go and the next group to go, like if two people standing on it, you work out this pattern in your mind. What this is going to translate to is everyone's going to make an acrobatics check for me at advantage. If you fail this, if you whip this hard, the other person's going to get a chance to grab you and pull you to safety, unless you just decide to fly across.
So everyone's gonna
So we all do that now.
Yes, everybody roll acrobatics, 2d20s for me
Oh.
at advantage. Take the higher, add your acrobatics.
Same thing. Well,
Okay, what did you get?
6.
We'll deal with that.
18.
18,
18.
18,
18.
21.
21, 21.
14.
She doesn't want to do
You're actually,
I'm garbage.
you're the rogue.
Me of all people, like
Do we trust her 21 though? I mean,
Yeah, we have to.
Oh.
It's the only way. As you fall, I feel like you're like I got through this pretty fairly like okay. Like I did a perfect cartwheel earlier today.
Come on.
As you walk forward and go, you feel your like footing sort of go out from underneath you. I'm going to I'll give you a dexterity check to see if you can grab her. I will either give you acrobatics or athletics, whichever is higher for you.
So,
what had happened
this
was
is gonna be a 5.
Okay. As you reach forward, you manage to grab her tunic, but you still sort of fall backwards into the lava a little bit. As you fall backwards into the lava a little bit, he like picks you up, and you're pretty beefy, right?
Yeah.
You're strong.
Yeah.
He picks you up out of the lava and just chucks you to the other side of the room. So you're gonna get singed a little bit. That's not bad, considering you got dipped in lava. You're just hand dipped queso.
handed.
You take 3 points of damage on your HP.
Nugget got fried.
It's a fried nugget.
Deep fried chicken nugget
Okay.
queso.
But you are amongst a group of healers, or a couple of people that can heal. So as you guys see that Nug's a little burnt Nug, but she's
I'm a chicken nugget.
she's a chicken nug, but she's deep fried nugget.
What was your HP at?
10.
So now it's at
8.
Your HP's only at 10. Am I looking at the right thing? Where's
She's
it?
little.
My
I
normal
know.
HP is
Oh,
10.
right there.
Yeah.
You feel me?
So you started at 10, it's out at 8.
It is.
Can I instantly heal her?
Yes,
You
but
could. You can
what's
cast
the
a spell on her and heal her.
I have to choose a spell? Or is it just healing?
Sure, it is a spell. You've got things like Cure Wounds. That's a spell that you can cast.
I'm gonna save it for the actual last turn when there's gonna be the enemies.
I just got just a little
Yeah.
singe.
It's just a little off the
I'm
top.
gonna save it.
You guys get to the other room where you managed to climb up and you use teamwork together and everyone got to the top, and that wall is missing.
Is this the only one room we had to do?
It's the rooms that you didn't incur a penalty on.
So where's the door we have to go to? Just floating?
As you come into this room, there is the trust fall area that is still set up, and Art comes over the speakers again, and he goes, "I don't normally do this, but if you would like, if you want to do the trust fall over again, I will let you do it, and I will erase one of the penalties that you have incurred."
I thought we just incurred one penalty.
Right, which means if we do the trust fall, we get the wall back to climb up.
No, it means that if there is a further ramification for that penalty you incurred, that it'll be erased.
I'll do it again.
The same two people that did it the first time are not allowed to do it this time.
Dang it.
What's your strength?
I
It's
am.
strength, right? That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm like the next strongest.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Who's doing the fall?
Ooh, I have a great idea.
I have wings, so if I
You
could
can
just
fall
fly.
slowly,
But feels like that's probably cheating, huh?
but
You don't hear anything.
I'll catch you, and that's still a trust fall. Minor trust.
Are you sure you don't want to fall?
I feel like the wings are cheating, and that's gonna be a penalty.
Yeah, I feel like the wings are cheating.
How will we get?
I don't know.
Is strength the number in the bubble underneath the plus or the
It's
amplifier?
at the very top. This is going to be a strength saving throw. You'll see a little box up at the very top.
Yeah.
It says saving throws on it.
So I see +2 and 15.
That means you got +2 to strength. So you would roll a d20 and add a +2 to whatever you roll.
What does that 15 mean?
That 15 is when you're rolling dice and establishing stats for this.
Okay.
That's the number that you would roll. When you're leveling up the character, those are the points that you would allocate towards that. It's almost like a 16 in that box grants you a +3 to your rolls. It's just a different way of leveling up and maintaining the
Okay,
statistics.
so right now all I care about is +2.
All you care about right
What's
now
your
is
strength?
+2.
+3.
Okay, so he catches.
He can catch Ophelia.
Well,
he can
who's-
certainly try.
What stat is the faller again? What stat does she
No
roll?
stat for the faller. It's just the
It's
catcher.
just catch.
Oh, well then. Well,
Do you want to fall, or I guess I'll fall if you don't want to fall?
you have to
I mean,
not fly fall.
I could make you fall slower, but I think that would be cheating.
I feel like that would be cheating
Maybe
just as
cheating's
much
the
as
same
using my
as-
wings.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, if it doesn't matter and he's gonna catch, then I'll fall because I have nothing. there's no. It's just your strength. There's nothing
Who
to
has
do
the
with
higher
me.
Yeah, perfect.
HP?
I do.
Yeah.
So I'll fall. You catch me. Exactly.
All right, you set yourself up. There's a line at the very bottom. It looks a little taller than the previous one. As you sort of stand on the ledge, do you fold your arms and do the fall, or do you do the full nug where you just kind of starfish? And...
Well, if I do the nug, my hands are out. It's easier to catch me than it is like this.
yeah, okay.
I'm gonna nug it.
As he falls, there is a click, and in front of him, a panel opens up, and on that panel is a shiny, huge diamond. And you realize you have just enough time to either grab that diamond as a dwarf, shiny things you are drawn to, or catch the person that is falling off the ledge.
Go for the diamond. We get 2 healers in this team.
I'm also lawful good. So,
Well, play your character. Play your character.
is he falling? I'm gonna do that thing from like just fall into the arms and just be like, I got
Whitney
you. buddy.
Houston bodyguard.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you're falling slow motion, he's looking at the diamond, you're looking at him.
Like the sniper's about to take the shot.
I'm trying to grab it as I'm falling.
You're both like reaching for it. Give me a dexterity. I'll give that to you. As you fall, you're trying to grab it as he's trying to grab you. Give me.
Let me put my dexterity multiplier here.
Yeah. Give me a d20, but roll for dex on that.
Where's that at? Oh, -1.
You man.
10.
That's not bad. I'm giving it a 10 DC. And you watch, sure enough, as he falls, you sort of catch him and you grab that diamond right as the thing like kind of comes down. You're pulling. You pull it out just in time as the thing sort of crashes down and he's got a diamond in his hand.
So I'm sure the holds like this, like cradle, like never. I told you I'd never let you fall, and I'll never take you up. But I'm gonna take the diamond. I'll just take it.
I've got you and the diamond.
Never gonna let you up, and I'll let you down.
You just rickrolled my
Those are
diamond.
good words. That should be a song.
You walk out of this room and enter a room that is a golden statue with people high-fiving each other. And as you come forward and place your hands on the statues, I need you all to answer some questions for me. Hey, Chris,
Yeah,
do you feel like they could understand your speaking a little bit better this go around?
probably not.
Did you work on it at
No.
all? Did you take
No.
any of that constructive
No.
criticism?
Not even.
Okay. The statue gets a frowny face, and you hear a.
Aw.
And you die.
Saint Gorgonzola,
That was real.
did you eat less cheese this go around?
I ate 0 cheese this go around.
The statue smiles. Ophelia, have you been too happy?
Naturally.
I feel like I've been the same amount of happy this time.
What about stronger? Have you been stronger?
Stronger. I'm not sure if I've been stronger at all.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Thanks.
Hey, Nug,
Yeah.
you showed off a little bit.
Not this time.
Not this time, though.
Someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes!
The negatives cancel out the positives, and that door in front of you opens up. into the room. It is a large circular space
Oh no.
filled to the brim with bones all over the ground. Yes.
Now this diamond.
I have now.
I just wanted to establish.
What is the benefit of a diamond in this game?
In this game, the diamond, you can trade for gold, you can use it to
Just
buy
value.
better materials, it's just value.
But nothing else but value.
Nothing else of value at this level.
Okay.
In later levels in Dungeons and Dragons, you need material components like that to cast some of your more amazing spells. To bring someone back from the dead, you would need exactly that diamond.
Could you possibly bribe someone or something with that diamond?
Yes. I like that. I like where your head's at. And you're going to need that cleverness because as you walk into the next room,
You're a
you-
Ravenclaw for sure.
a portcullis closes without assistance behind you, and you are in a large circular sort of auditorium. There is a shaking sound as the bones around you start to come to life, forming in front of you the visage of a very large, very angry, glowing red-eyed, skeletal dragon.
Fight it.
As
I'm ready.
You ready? As the skeletal dragon sort of looks at all of you, Art comes on over the speakers and goes, "Let's see. You had one penalty, but you went through the challenge. Shoot. I guess there's no active penalties, so I don't need to make 2 skeletal dragons. You were going to have to fight 1 dragon for every penalty that you had. So I guess you'll just have to fight the one." And as he says that, the dragon takes a step forward with a claws in the ground, and as it does, the whole ground before you shakes. Everybody, we are rolling for initiative. This is a battle sequence. You are going to roll your d20.
Your first initiative.
It's okay, roll
Does that
that.
count as a roll?
You're going to... No, it's got to be on the table. We're going to see who goes first. Let me roll for the dragon.
Initiative
Oh
on this.
no.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I need anybody who rolled between a 15 and a 20.
I got 15.
15?
Where's initiative?
No.
Is there no multipliers on
Yeah,
that?
it's actually your dexterity. So if you know your dexterity.
Gotcha. -1. Nope. Bye.
Oh, wait, we were supposed to roll twice?
No, just one.
Okay. Oh, okay, well 15 was the first one.
Okay, so
So 17.
17. No, you're
Yes.
going first.
Okay.
Who got between 15 and 10?
12.
12. Okay.
I just healed, so it's whatever.
Sorry about
It's no big deal.
I'll go last because I was just going to laugh.
Who got between 10 and 5? Wow, kids.
Oh wait, sorry, that's me.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
No, you're good.
that's me.
What
It's
You have 7, right?
yeah.
7? Okay. Between 5 and 0? Oh, God, guys.
Got a food.
A 4?
it. I got a 3.
A 3?
We have got this in the
4.
bag.
You two give me a roll off to see who goes first between the two of you.
That's a
3. He wins.
That's cute.
No. He's got a roll too.
I know, but he's not going to get a 2 or a 1.
What are we rolling
17.
for again?
The 17. Yeah. All right. No.
Yes.
All right.
The 2 healers go last. It's perfect. It's supposed to be that way.
It's meant to be.
As this dragon steps forward towards you, Nug, it is your turn. What would you like to do? You
Nug,
have
yeah.
weapons. You can take a shot at this thing and sort of.
I said you now. Do what you do best. Cartwheel into him.
This one?
Go into the map
Okay,
and do
so
damage.
which is this? This one? Is that the one I'm supposed to use?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna wait.
So roll to attack first. This is how we do
Oh,
with
this one
attack.
first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you roll a d20.
Yeah.
And there should be a plus next to that number to see like what you would add to it for. So you roll your d20.
Wait, what is the plus? Attack?
15.
Okay. That 15 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're now gonna roll damage.
Which is this one?
Yeah.
Good.
Then you have +2 at the end.
4.
Okay. So you guys watch as
I use my
Nug.
longbow.
It's your longbow?
It is.
As Nug takes out the longbow and she sort of aims up the shot, and as she does, she fires it as the dragon sort of tilts its head to the side, the longbow hits it in the side of the head, and it darts its eyes directly towards Nug. And as it darts its eyes directly towards Nug, it opens its mouth wide and shoots out a flame of dark black energy, which sort of envelops everyone who is standing by the portcullis. I need everybody to roll a dexterity saving throw for me. Dex saving throw. Roll a d20. Add your dex.
16.
16.
9.
9.
8.
8.
10.
20.
20.
15.
Okay. Everyone but Noah takes 2 points of damage. Noah, you take 4 points of damage. Everyone else sort of jumps out of the way of this
So
black
that's
sort
4
of
for Nug, right?
So I'm at
Energy.
6.
Yeah.
energy that sort of flies outward, but everybody else sort of dodges out of the way at the last second. Everyone except Noah's character. Okay?
What's your HP right now?
8.
Start at 10?
Started at 12.
How you done to 8?
Because it gave
You
it
did 4.
He got 4.
4
because he
damage.
failed the thing.
He took more damage.
Okay.
Furia, you are up.
I am going to cast Chaos Bolt at it.
Okay.
So I'm adding my spell attack modifier. That is a 4 plus 6. That's a 10.
10 is just not going to cut it.
Nope. Alright.
But you watch as Etheria sort of gets up and forms this little ball of chaos in her hands and shoots it outward. As the ball of chaos darts forward, the dragon sort of shoves its shoulder in the way, shoving the chaos bolt to the ground, blasting a huge crater into it. That is that turn. I believe it's you, Elia. Yes, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Earth Tremor.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going to cast Earth Tremor.
Chris,
and
you're
that
on
means
deck.
Are you
That
ready?
you have to roll your d20. Oh, actually, you don't. That's a dex save on that one. So it looks like she just gets to cast it, and he has to make a dex save. And of 12.
You watch as Elia sort of walks forward, and as she does, her eyes go this dark crimson red, and she channels the arcane energies deep within her. And as she does, the ground below the dragon starts to shake, and it tries to dart out of the way, but it cannot before the ground sort of reaches forward and starts shaking it violently. You see parts of the bones start to chip away as she shakes it. Roll damage for me.
That was Earth Tremor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Earth Tremor, that's 1d6.
Plus 2.
Okay, and it's going to be prone. If she hits, it's bludgeoning damage, and it's knocked prone.
Okay.
So, so you're gonna take a d6 and roll that. That's the damage to it. So 1. So it's 1 damage, but and I don't think does she get to add a modifier
No,
to
not
that?
to the
Okay.
spell. So you guys watch as the earth sort of reaches up and her eyes go this crimson red color. Some of her hair even begins to like flow back behind her and sort of stand up as the earth reaches up, grabs onto the feet of this thing, and drags it into the ground. It doesn't look like the shaking did much damage to it, but as the ground grabs it by the legs and shoves it down, the ground all of a sudden tilts to one side violently, shoving this thing on its back. What this means is the creature is knocked prone. Any attacks that you guys make against it before it's able to get up have advantage. So she just set you guys up for a bunch of damage, okay?
Heck yeah.
So I'll heal you, Tad.
Done.
Awesome. You're up, buddy.
Sweet.
Go.
So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my my warhammer,
Okay.
and I'm just going to run up on it and just give it a good old.
Make these attacks at advantage. Roll the d20, take the higher of the two.
Okay, that's going to be 19.
Okay. Yeah, that hits.
Yep, awesome.
Roll
And
damage.
then damage is going to be 1d.
Clutch move.
That's going to be 11.
Oh, you guys watch as he runs forward and with all of his like stout dwarven energy, reaches back, channels sort of this divine presence through the hammer as this white sort of energy fills the room. You almost feel and hear the sounds of like faint like music being played. It's like bells or something like that. Like you're, and as that hammer hits, there's this gong, and the whole skull of this thing cracks. As this little crack, hairline crack cracks in this thing. It's still shaking on the ground like this and moving back and forth, but this hit took a chunk out of it.
And I say, light up the eyes, boys, light up the eyes.
So do we know the HP of this dragon?
You don't.
Do we know how much damage you just did to the dragon?
You don't. You just know, I will tell you when it's starting to look rough. When I say it's starting to look rough, we're in the end game right now.
Look rough for us or the dragon?
When it looks rough for the dragon, when I'm like, this dude's barely standing up. He took a huge chunk out of it, but it still doesn't look like it's anywhere near giving up the ghost. Noah, it's your turn. What does your dragonborn do?
I'm going to do 2-weapon fighting. So
Okay.
I'm going to do 2 hand axes to attack it.
Okay, give me an attack roll at advantage because it is still knocked prone. This might change the whole fight for me. Deep butt.
I think that's better.
19
Oh yeah, that hits. That definitely hits. Roll damage for me.
damage. Just roll this.
Fighters are an interesting class as Noah begins to level up, and even as Chris's character begins to level up in Wonder.
How do you level up?
You gain experience points, or you get to milestone points in the story. Chris's character eventually in Wonder will start to hit a point where 19 and 20 are critical hits. So he
Crits.
Yeah.
I got 9.
9 points of damage. So once again, there's this almost this like dual motion as your character runs over and hits it with the hammer, and as it's reeling to the side, it doesn't see the Dragonborn walk up with the axe, sort of flip the axe up into the air, grab it with both hands, and just bring it down as hard as he can. As he does, you bring it down on the chest of this thing as he's going for like the head and the eyes, and you actually crack one of the ribs off of it as one of the ribs like falls to the ground at its side.
What's your damage roll?
Mine is 1
10.
8, yeah, plus
Yeah,
3.
10, 19.
He had 10.
So
He
you
had
have 19
9.
HP.
Live your truth, Gorgonzola.
Dragon still on his back.
Don't get cheesy. Yes.
He's doing Gouda.
Will the dragon explode into cheese?
Oh my god.
Well, it was
Circling.
Elaine's Parmesan.
Cheese.
If I decide to attack, what am I looking at here? Which of these
It's
things?
gonna be
looking
really
at?
sharp attack.
You can't know. Like, you're gonna cast a spell, or are you thinking about hitting this thing?
So that's my options. Is if I'm going to attack, I need to decide a melee or spell.
There are lots of different actions that you can do. Some of the actions that are rarely used, but that you can do on a turn, you basically get an action and you get a bonus action. A lot of the times you're going to either attack or you're going to cast a spell, but there's other things that you could do. You could do disengage, where you go, I'm moving away from this thing, I don't want to get caught up in any sort of damage that it does. You could do the dodge action, where you basically just hunker down and wait for it to attack, and then all attacks against you have disadvantage. You can help another player if he wants to, if Nug or you want to set him up for the 1-2. You can say like, "Hey, look at me!" Like, and as you do, he's sneaking up behind it with an axe. Like, I would not recommend that for Nug because she's
I'm
not
not
looking
doing
good.
that,
So there's lots of different things that you can do.
How do I know what the strength of a spell I have is compared to if I do like
What's the spell?
the only thing that sounds like it would be an attack would be inflict wounds.
Inflict wounds is a spell, and normally when you're creating a character, you would have time to sort of map out the spells that you have and stuff like that.
I can look up inflict wounds right now.
No. As you walk forward and cast inflict wounds, it's a touch spell, so you need to roll an attack for me. What is your wisdom modifier?
Is that better than attacking with a mace?
Depends on the mace.
A mace is +4, 1d6 plus.
On a
4.
hit with inflict wounds, you would do 3d10 damage to this thing because you're burning a spell.
Which is good.
It's a lot.
I like that.
Give me a d20.
Okay, so and I'm doing d20 with wisdom multiplier.
Yeah.
Alright, my wisdom is +2.
So you're gonna roll this d20 twice. Take the higher of the two. Add it.
18.
You watch as Gorgonzola sort of walks forward. He strides forward, and as he strides forward, he takes one of his hands and grabs onto the dragon. And as he does, this black inky fluid seems to flow out of his fingers, and you guys feel like you smell a very sharp, cheesy smell in the air as this sort of magic creeps.
No, it's not sharp cheddar.
It's not sharp cheddar. It's something else.
It's Limburger.
Something far darker. As this dark sort of energy slides across, and pretty soon it envelops the entire dragon. The dragon sort of cocks ahead at you, and as it does, you take your hand and squeeze. And as you do, you see as the dragon like gets compacted, and almost like you're squeezing something. Roll 3d10 for me. There's going to be a dice on there. It's going to look a lot like.
It has,
There's a D10.
Don't want on the
oh,
back.
There's another
it's like a
D10.
top here?
Except there's gonna be one.
I don't have
Oh,
one
you
of
don't have
those.
another one. Here, use those two, and then
Wait,
here's another one. There's
So-
3 D10s.
I'm rolling all three of these at the same time?
At the same time, that is your damage that you're doing.
So all of these together is the damage.
Yes.
This is an awesome spell.
You don't get a lot of them at this level, but when they hit hard.
Woo! 1!
Nice.
On all of them?
Gosh. No, that's a 10.
Oh, I was gonna say.
That's a 1. That is also a 10.
0 is 10. Oh,
A 0 is 10.
21.
I almost lost my mind.
I was like, it says 0 on the side, alright?
You watch as this thing is
100.
you watch as
Boom.
Gorgonzola walks forward and has been fairly even keeled at this point, but as he squeezes his hand and this dark energy envelops the dragon, you hear the dragon screaming as the bones are sort of constricted around this hand, and as he twists the hand, the dragon itself is twisted on the ground. And writhing in agony. He pulls his hand back and the energy is sucked back up into his hand, and Gorgonzola takes a few steps backward, folding his arms, looking at the dragon. We are back at the top of the initiative order. Chicken Nug Nug.
I want to.
Is the dragon still on its back?
He is still on his back for now.
Okay.
Okay.
Attack.
Wait till his
I also have sneak attack that I forgot that I had.
Okay.
So there's that.
So make an attack for me right now. It
Okay.
will because you're a rogue. This will automatically get you sneak attack because
Yes.
it's prone. So roll an attack for me at advantage.
Okay. So yeah, if you get hit with like 4 or less, I'll just heal her next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's prone.
So should I just do the same?
Yeah, probably.
Or you do what I did.
You roll it twice for me because it's prone.
Oh, okay.
Great. Okay, that's a 2.
A 2 total. Like
Wait.
the highest of the
4.
2.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Okay. So you watch as Nug sort of runs forward and tries to get this thing.
I should have hid.
No. Tries to. It's going after the people that do damage to it. That was probably the best thing in the world. As it takes a shot and then it misses, and Nug's like, okay, bye, and then flies backward. As it does, it rolls back up on its side.
Why would you do that, Nugget?
Runs forward. Runs forward and is going to grab the two of you and slam you two into each other.
These two?
These two, because you took a step backwards.
Best sandwich.
It gets a multi-attack here, so you're coming. For the first move, it's reaching up both and slamming you two into each other. So that is a 15 against your AC.
No.
A 15 misses. Okay. A 23 against your AC.
Oh.
I got 18.
Okay. It picks you up, Noah, and instead of slamming you down against him, it just takes you and slams you down into the ground as hard as it can with its claw. When it does that,
Damage roll.
I'm gonna need some more dice.
What is your HP at right now?
8.
Okay, so how many dice you rolling?
We don't know. He won't tell us.
You take 7 points of damage as this thing takes you, slams you down into the ground, and screams at you. As it screams at you, the tail whips around and slams into you.
Oh. Sorry, man.
Does a 15 hit?
I'm looking at my
AC,
armor class,
armor
18, so no.
Okay, as this tail whips around and slams into you, you just stand forward and you know that this armor is good because you built this armor because you know the extent of your capability. So as this tail slams into you, you just stand forward and brace yourself, and that tail hits you in the chest as hard as it can. And as it does, the dragon turns back to you, and it is completely focused on you now. It grabs its claws, sticks them into the ground, and eyes you dead, focused completely on you.
Would you like some cheese?
That being said, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna try this chaos bolt again. He's still he's not prone anymore.
is
That's
not
right.
prone.
Darn it.
Can I do a quick question?
Sure.
My inflict wounds did 21 damage just now.
Yes.
P.S. You're welcome.
Nice.
am I able to cast that the next round, or how does that work with spells?
Depends on how many spell slots you have.
So
You need to be
spell
looking at
slots.
that while these turns are going on right
Which,
now.
if it's on the D&D Beyond site, it's a
So
little
2 spell slots means I can cast the exact same thing again.
You could cast that same spell again, but if it misses, you just lose the spell.
Right. Do you want to heal him next, and then I'll do that spell again? So they're pretty
I'm trying to
good.
figure out. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one's closer to me.
Ophelia, what do you do?
You know what? No, I'm not. I'm gonna not do Chaos Bolt. I'm gonna do. Ooh, to sleep. Do I have to roll for sleep? No, I don't. I think I just. No. I think it's 5d8.
Okay,
It's just
give
5d8.
me 5d8.
All right.
I have a number.
Oh, there's my 8s. Okay. I'm just gonna have to roll extra. Okay. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, and then 11 plus 8, 19.
You guys watch as Ophelia sort of flies forward a little bit, and as she flies forward, she has to get within 20 feet of range of the creature. As she's there, are you just targeting the creature?
Yeah, just the creature.
What else would your option be in that scenario?
What do you mean?
Well, if there's only one creature we're fighting,
Yeah, I can only. Yeah.
you said is she just targeting the creature?
I go up and I cast sleep on him.
Okay, boys, how many hit points do you have left?
1 and
1 and 6.
9.
Okay, do you have below how much did you roll?
Oh,
Was it 19?
What was it? It was 19.
Yeah,
Yeah.
19.
So starting with the creature at the lowest current hit points, each creature
How
affected
much
by
do
the
you
spell
have?
falls unconscious till the spell ends. The sleeper takes damage or someone uses an action to shake or slap the sleeper awake.
Noah,
Subtract each creature's hit points.
you fall asleep. Chris, you fall asleep. And the dragon turns to look at the two of you that are now sleeping on the ground.
Oh no, it didn't work on the dragon? We didn't fall
It
asleep?
starts within a 20-foot radius, the lowest possible hit points for the creatures around, and they're in melee with it.
wait a
Oh,
second.
I didn't understand
Asleep,
Wow.
asleep.
Hold
that. Oh
on.
crud, I did not fully read
Never
that spell
trust
before I
the
cast
devil.
it. Oops!
So she did a spell that
She-
Yep, I just
make
put
the
them to
dragon
sleep.
fall asleep.
But this could be good.
That was
guys,
the goal.
Because no, I was trying to make the dragon fall asleep. I forgot that they were within melee of it.
So the
So I put them to
dragon's
sleep,
not
but not the
asleep.
dragon. But
Because of your roll.
yes, but the good thing is they're now lying down, and the dragon's not looking at them, and maybe won't hit
Well, he was
them,
looking at me
and then they'll
already.
hit us
Yeah.
instead.
He just turned to look at them when they both fell and hit the ground.
I'm
So
so happy.
You
Now, in sleep mode, in Dungeons and Dragons, is that a one-turn thing, or is that a they roll to wake up?
they are there until somebody walks over and slaps them away,
Or yeah,
And
wakes
that-
them up,
or
or
that
until
takes
they
out a
get
turn.
hit,
or until they get
anything.
hit.
So I can say, so in a round, hypothetically, I can slap both of them the same round,
I would grant you a double slap. They're pretty close.
and then I would completely forbid any healing or attack on my end for doing
Correct.
that.
It would be slaps giving would be your action.
Slaps given. Got it.
Or you could just heal them while they're asleep.
It's the newest
yeah,
Paladin.
yeah.
Alright.
Because that can also be.
Okay.
We can double up the heals.
It's a tough
You
call though.
need to heal.
You could stop it.
But you know,
What-
you'd be
what
close
happens
enough
if
that I can
acid
also heal because you guys are in proximity.
Acid splash, 1d6 acid damage. It's within 60 feet. They have to make a dex save. And if they fail their dex save, they get 1d6 acid damage. So,
He's
do it. Alternatively, it's 1d10 for firebolt. But then again, it's dragon. It's gonna
That's
use
why.
fire,
That's why
yeah.
I thought. There is
Um,
no fire.
Yours is different.
Or chill touch. But you're
Isn't
gonna
it
have to
one?
touch.
Isn't it undead?
What am I looking for?
Because made of skeletons, isn't it undead?
This page?
Yeah, I mean, it might be.
Right. but
You can
what-
try that.
what am
You
I
can try
looking
chill
for?
touch. I can look up chill touch to get more details on it if you want. Like you can.
Is
do
that what you're
but I-
casting?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
either
you
chill touch or
choose.
acid splash, but that's higher damage.
Okay, that's all I know.
Okay.
Okay, chill touch.
Okay, you run forward, and as you run forward to it, you make a skeletal hand sort of appear out of thin air. I need you to roll a d20 for me and add your spellcasting modifier. I believe it's charisma for you.
Plus 4.
Okay. Then 5.
5 total.
Oh,
No,
wait.
you're at 7 plus 4.
Oh. Oh, that's a 7.
Yeah. The skeletal hand
Agreed.
comes forward towards it, which is an 11 total. It's not going to hit it. As the skeletal hand comes forward, it sort of brushes it off to the side, but its eyes are still glued on Saint Gorgonzola.
I'm sorry.
Next up, Chris. Tell you what, man. I am a kind of benevolent DM. I will give you a D20. You hit a certain number for me, you will wake up in a start. This is not normally in the rules, but
That's a straight 12, sir.
a straight 12.
Yeah.
Just not. It's not enough, but I'll lower it for the next time. Noah, you too, pal.
Okay. 15.
You wake up in a start and sit up and sort of look around. That's going to be your turn, but you are awake for your next go.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Gorgonzola.
So, strategery. You rolled a 12 and it hits. We lower next time, so you pretty much have 50-50 chance of waking up next time. He's awake now,
Yep.
so we don't need to wake you up
Probably not.
because we have 5 people.
Now,
That
here's
will
the
be his
deal.
turn.
In a real game like this, I wouldn't allow this to happen because this would be like, okay, guys, dragon, time out. Now, here's the deal. I want to hit you, but like, I don't want to. Like, you have 6 seconds in real game time,
Okay.
so it's hard because this is a great conversation to have. But you have 6 seconds in real time. Like all of your moves are taking 6 seconds. Like
So, I'll pause at 6 seconds. We're doing a timeout question.
that's fine.
Now, my first level spells, there's a lot that seems like they're healing. I don't know the difference between them. I have
Sure.
cure wounds,
Healing.
bless.
That's going to basically a buff to the entire party. Everybody gets to add a D4 to everything that they roll from here on in.
Shield of Faith.
That ups somebody's AC by 2. So you pick somebody that's running into battle a lot, and you can be like, "Hey, you got +2 AC now."
And that's permanent.
It's impermanent
In the
for-
battle.
In the battle.
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary, it takes a creature. A creature has to fully concentrate on you, really, really, really hard, make a wisdom roll in order to even hit you. It's almost like the magics are pushing its attention somewhere else.
Okay. So Sanctuary is creature.
I will say
Shield of Faith.
you look over and you see him, and he is one stiff breeze away from shuffling this mortal coil.
But you said so. Bless is a
Only
debuffer.
one of those is a,
Yeah.
is a healing spell,
To
basically.
cure wounds.
Yeah.
Now, what numbers am I looking at here to decide that? If I want, because there's no
Cure wounds is 1d8 plus 4, so you would or your spellcasting modifier. So you'd run over and you basically roll a d8, add 2 to it, and that's how much you heal him for.
HP points.
HP points.
So I potentially heal him a max of what? 10 plus my.
No, you probably heal him a max of 10, but it's better than the 1 he is at right now.
Okay.
Because I don't want to attack.
So I'm about to get destroyed by this dragon staring me down, but I'm about to do my last ditch effort in case there's some crazy multiplier the dragon has by keeping Mr. Strong Pants alive.
Yep.
Are you a hero?
Piccolo's a hero. Saint Gorgonzola is
It's
gonna
a
go
hero.
for the healing.
St. Gorgonzola rushes past the dragon, tracking his every movement, and as he does, he places a hand on your shoulder, which is odd because from before you didn't think he liked you. He didn't tell you about the food or anything. He places a hand, and you
But I'd
feel,
like to win.
you feel the cheesy spiritual energy flow out from his hand and fill you to the brim, healing him for how much? Roll your D8.
D8,
Mm-hmm.
which is a dice that has 8 as the highest number.
Yes.
I'm guessing it's. Oh, there's a 9 on there. Trying to get that. No, these all have 9s on them. I don't know what a D8 looks
Oh.
like.
Oh, D8. Here. These. This.
No, no, no.
How many D8s do you need?
It looks like a little pyramid thingy, like this.
Okay,
Just
so I
one.
roll both of these.
Nope, just one.
And what am I looking for?
You're looking for the number you roll on there, and you're adding 2 to it.
And this is how much it heals them.
How much are you healing?
This is for you, buddy. Okay. 7.
You feel the energy flow through you. You are healed for 9
No, 7 was the +2.
7 plus. You feel yourself healing for 7 points of health. So you are back up and you are on your feet, bro, and you are ready to kick butt.
I'm about to die.
And you're like, well, goodbye, everybody. That's a season wrap on Gorgonzola. Thank you so much, Gorgonzola.
Thanks so much.
Great.
I love it.
However, one hero stands in the way.
2 feet tall.
Chicken nug nug.
I'm gonna run and belly flop on him to wake him up.
You're gonna belly flop.
Yeah.
Perfect. Nug runs forward and
Cannonball!
We're good pals at this point.
It's Christmas.
you know what, Nug? Give me a performance check as you do this. As you just sort of like, you guys go, I know what I must do. And Nug just runs across it.
WWE.
So,
This is so good. It's a roll of cool.
this isn't a spell, this is just a slap or
12.
whatever.
Just a roll
Like
at
her way of
advantage.
slapping him with her whole
Performance.
body.
Performance roll?
So,
Never mind.
so it's
Roll it twice. Take the higher of the two.
you know this is not bode well for me. Yeah, we're 12.
12. Yeah, you guys watch, and all of a sudden, this move is so unexpected and so odd that as the dragon is going forward and prepares its sort of dark, sort of arcanic like breath, it looks over at the tiny
What in the
gnome that
world?
just belly flopped on the other one, and it's just like, hero time! Like, and you are officially awake. It's going to shoot fire at you, but I'm going to make this roll at disadvantage because of the belly flop.
What does that mean? You roll half a die?
No, it means he
No, it
rolls
means I roll
2d4.
twice and I take the lower of the two. Advantage you
Gotcha.
take twice,
Okay.
take the higher. One is a nat 20.
Ooh,
Which
so
is
glad
double
it's
damage.
advantage.
Don't worry about that.
20 again?
Nope, nat 1.
Oh,
Wait, 1?
net one.
This thing goes to shoot fire everywhere, turns to look at the gnome, and as it does, it's still spitting fire and just shoots up the fire into the sky.
What
Which
the
sort of
heck?
like rains down upon it. Why did I give you that?
That nat 20 would have been detrimental.
Aphiria.
Okay, so I don't have really spell slots yet, so instead I'm going to try to intimidate this thing.
Oh, God.
Okay.
So I'm going to run up towards it and I'm going to cast Minor Illusion,
Okay.
where I can create a sound. Its volume can range from a whisper to a scream, like a lion's roar or whatever. So I'm going to put an illusion on my voice
Okay.
so that I'm going to talk to it like it's a dog. I'm going to be like, all right, sit, lie down.
Yes.
And I'm going to be super intimidating, and I'm hoping that by casting Minor Illusion, that it might be an advantage
That's
on
a
that
great idea.
Yes.
with my intimidation check.
Travis.
In my source, I see it says 2 slots, but I just use 2 things, the inflict wounds and the cure wounds, but
Yeah.
next to cure wounds and blessings, it is always prepared. Does that mean it doesn't count towards the
No, it
slots?
means you've always got this spell in your back pocket to cast, but you've used your 2 spell slots. It's like you channeled your divinity twice for that day, so now you're down to like beating it with the beat stick.
Melee only, got it.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now. You're walking towards the dragon and
I'm
screaming.
not going to go all the way up to it.
Okay, but I'm telling you, this could go really well for you, or this could go really bad.
I know. Oh, I know.
This is a Furia.
An 8-year-old girl is screaming at a dragon
I'm
as loud as she
intimidated.
can.
Things
Well,
almost that bad
She's
before.
using the spells.
I get that.
She's not.
Okay,
technically-
give me
So
an
what you're saying is...
give me an intimidation check.
It could be like a mouse and an
So my
elephant.
Minor
So
Illusion
the
doesn't help
bonus
me
of
at
this
all?
spell that she's doing is what? Does this actually do damage?
It's not. She's
No,
just trying
I'm
to get this thing to.
I'm out of spell slots, so I'm trying whatever
Jump
I
back
can.
down.
All right.
Distract
Either that or
him.
stab it, but
You're
like
trying to
either way,
distract
I
it
have to get
from
close.
these
I'm
flipperoo
seeing if
guys.
it works. If I can, like, they
Okay.
probably trained this thing, right?
Okay. She's trying to
Like,
save
this is
that.
probably one of their trained beasties.
All right.
Some-
Give me an intimidation check.
Okay.
What is your elder now? 8?
It's a 10.
6, 9, 8.
It's 4 plus 6.
Furia walks forward and in all her 8-year-old glory makes her voice sound very loud, and she's like, "Sit, lie down, obey." And the dragon turns to look at her and goes, and like now its attention is away from Gorgonzola. Good job, and it is fixed
I
firmly
can
to
heal
you.
more.
Yeah, I
Kind
can
of. Not really.
It's also gambling that by using Minor Illusion, I'd get that at advantage. It was a bad gamble.
It was it was so much fun. But it's better that it went poorly.
Pinky's up.
Alive? Yeah.
So, because I've used my 2 spells, how do I get them back?
You take a long rest. You take
So
a
it's just a
sleepy
turn.
sleep, a nappy nap. Nope. Nope. You
No,
take it.
like-
You like rest for the night.
It's nighttime.
That's why
Go to
leave the
sleep for
battle.
8 hours.
Period.
Sleep for 8 hours.
You can't leave.
You're not gonna
Go
get
have some
sleep.
coffee.
So there's no spells.
Maybe
ever.
some donuts.
No, you
Okay.
can wait.
Melee
what are
only.
these?
Yeah.
You are little, so that's why that
You
spell
can
did
do
so
Yeah,
much
you can do
damage.
any cantrips,
Follow. I don't know.
but you can't.
Like you're not cool spells. You can
What
do.
is the benefit between doing ranged crossbow and then melee mace?
Damage size. You can't fire at something that's really close up next to you with a crossbow. You will have to take that attack at disadvantage.
I'm really close.
You are close enough to it that you touched it the last round.
Okay, got it.
Or no, you ran off and touched it. So you're a little ways off, but he's close to it, so you're close to it as well.
Okay.
Because you healed him the last move. Why?
Okay. I'm going to try again using my second and last slot, the earth tremor, because the ground is still raised up to this side from when it flopped it over,
Okay.
and then like
I need to make a dex
just
save.
it the other way.
Yes, 12.
You trying to flip it on its back again? Keep the goal.
That is a 9. I'm getting rid of that d20.
Yeah. Bye.
So you have to roll higher than a 9 to win?
Roll damage for me. I had to roll higher than what her spell save was in order to avoid
Yeah,
it.
she had a dex of 12 save, so if you roll under it, she gets to roll the d6.
All right, roll damage.
And he's not prone.
You haven't had that side of
You watch as the same thing happens again. The earth sort of swallows this thing, and Elia steps forward. And this time, being amidst the battle, she's been a little nervous and so forth. That nervousness completely leaves her as she channels into the deep magic that's flowing through her blood and through her veins. As that happens, once again, the creature lunges forward, hoping not to be caught off guard again, but instead its shoulder gets caught into the dirt as the dirt sort of reaches up as almost it has unearthly hands and like pulls it down into the dirt. It's dragged down to the ground and it is knocked prone. No more of that.
Yeah,
Good job.
I know.
Uh,
You guys-
Shame on you.
You guys gotta actually finish it this time. 'cause
Chris.
I got
21 points of damage!
How close is Falcor and?
I'm very close.
Because you're on top of me. You on
She's
top.
still hugging you like
She's hugging you.
Cool. And then Falcor.
Dear God, make me a bird so I can fly far, far, far away. He's close too.
Cool. So I'm gonna do laying on hands, and assuming I can touch both of them, I can distribute 5 HP. Is what it's
You'd have to burn your bonus action and your action for this, but I'd let you do it.
What is-
bonus
wait.
action?
I don't know.
Action into bonus action, some spells and stuff like that require you to use a bonus action. It's almost like a secondary action rather than a full action.
What does it list
You'll
as?
notice on the spell if it says A or if it says BA,
Yeah, I said BA.
it's not what you, BA doesn't stand for what you think it means. It actually just stands for bonus action.
So I can actually do an attack and a bonus action.
You can. At level 1, it's harder. You don't get a ton of list of things to do.
Yeah.
Sanctuary and Shield of Faith are both BA.
Yes. So you could hit something, and if that's a cantrip, if one of those is a cantrip or doesn't use a spell slot, then you could cast that spell as a bonus action.
Gotcha.
All right.
So
Heal.
okay, so it's up to 5 HP. So
All right.
I'm gonna give.
Wait, no, what? He's on his back.
Nope, it's his move. You can't say that. You can't say that.
I can't.
No.
So I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you 2, and I'm gonna give him 3.
All right. You're healed for 3. You're healed for 2 points. It's looking rough. Noah, you're up on your feet.
Kill it.
Take a couple of swipes at this thing.
Alright, so I have an action that has 2 weapon fighting, so I can.
It just means that you have weapons that require 2 hands in order to roll
Okay,
and
got
stuff
it.
like that. So.
I'm gonna use my long sword to attack it.
All right, hit it hard. He reaches back and pulls out a long sword.
Does
Roll
a
twice.
warrior melee have any spells of any kind, or is it just straight up melee every time?
No, but he puts out a bunch of damage, and pretty soon he starts picking up extra attacks. So you guys get like 1 attack on your turn. He picks up 2, then 3, then 4, then
So
like,
Is that-
21.
Is that dependent on experience?
depending on what level he is at. So
Was that again?
eventually he can do something called an action surge, where he just goes,
He's on his back, so
"I'm
yeah.
taking a whole other turn again,"
Oh, yeah.
and he gets all of them.
You said I can roll to advantage, right?
Yeah.
So I can roll
Then nat
twice.
20.
A nat 20?
I got 20 plus my long sword. So that's
No, a nat 20 always works.
okay, got
Let's pull a card.
Let's see. What we do up
What does CS stand for again?
This is a homebrew kind of thing.
Roll damage. Whatever damage you roll, double it.
roll damage. Okay.
Kill it.
I got a 3, 6.
Okay, add your
12.
strength modifier. 12.
Mm-hmm.
6, that's
3,
7.
6. Yeah, 9.
1d8 plus 3, and you got a 3, so that's 3.
Hey Noah, how do you want to do this?
My man.
How do you
Whenever anybody kills like the big bad or the big boss, you get to choose how this goes down. So Noah, how do you want to do this?
What are his options here?
Anything he wants.
Anything he wants. Where does the sword hit? What happens
Oh,
to it?
I see what you're saying.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk up to the dragon.
Okay.
Since it knocked me unconscious. Oh wait, no, it didn't knock me unconscious. I'm going to decapitate its head. Yes. Just swing at the head.
Remember, I saved you.
The head rolls off, and then I say a deep prayer for Saint President.
As you guys watch as Fucker walks forward, decapitates this monstrous head, kicks it forward, and says a quick prayer to Saint Gorgonzola. As the dragon disappears into dust, a golden treasure chest appears in the arena.
Yeah, so my diamond does not get it first.
The chest opens, and inside the chest are 6 gold medallions, each with hands outstretched, allowing all of you, should you decide to adventure again, to be able to message each other invisibly and silently in each other's heads, to be able to message each other in a battle and be able to send messages. And as you do that, Art comes on and he walks into the arena, and you see Art Goodfriend go, "I hope you guys had a good time, and you learned a little something about friendship and what it means to be friends, and learn that you're more than a party, you're family."
That's not your real voice.
Okay.
Roll for insight.
And that's where we're going to end. Folks, thank you so much. Do me a quick favor, click that little heart up at the top, give us a follow. We would love to have more people viewing and tuning in. It's the best way to say thank you without throwing bits or money or subscribing. If you want to do those things, we will gladly take that and continue to make awesome content like this. Thank you to these new players. You guys are officially broken in. You have played your very first game of D&D. So the cheats for everyone. So when somebody asks, "Hey, have you played D&D before?" you can be like,
Yes.
yeah. Hold on to those character sheets, because who knows, maybe the Gorgonzola and his cheesy gang of friends will ride again. But I want to say thank you to everybody here who stepped up and brought it to the plate. Hillary, did you have fun?
Yeah.
Chris?
Always.
Noah?
Definitely.
Travis? Tracy? Thank you guys so much, as always, here on Indigo Chameleon. We encourage you to go find people that share your nerdy passions. Find people that like the same stuff that you do. Find people that don't like the same stuff that you do. Keep going out and connecting, because as always, at Indigo Connect.